Hi, Filter here. In my last video, I made reference to a particular television show, and here it is. That's right, Space 1999. My girlfriend picked this up at the Goodwill store, the Mega Set. All the discs are intact, including a bonus disc, which has a message from Moonbase Alpha on it. I'll get to that a little later. But I have to say one thing about Space 1999. This was one of the most underrated shows ever. It came out a good 2 years before Star Wars. Um, the effects in it, which I got to be honest with you, let's be honest, rival that of the pre-remastered Star Trek. In fact, the more you look at it, it is reminiscent of Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Ironically, Kubrick tried to sue because he said that there was too many things that were similar with the ships and all that other stuff. But the Gary and Sylvia Anderson, the creators of the show, pretty much put the kibosh on that. Now, I won't go into the details about the plot. Most of you could just Google it or Wikipedia it. But there are episodes on here. Again, I really honestly feel that Space 1999 is underrated. One episode in particular is called War Games, which is just a brutal episode as you watch it. Um, Another episode is let's see, Dragon's Domain. This episode actually deals with a form of post-traumatic stress disorder and survivor's guilt. It's very, 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 very good. One which you might think is silly episode is in season two called "The Rules of Luton." However, there is something very interesting about this episode. Commander Koenig actually explains the political climate of Earth and why there's a moon base, why things are much different on Earth as we would the Earth as we know. I mean, considering when this was written, like I said, it was written by Gary and Sylvia Anderson. The original concept, from what I understand, was it was supposed to be a continuation of their previous show, which was done in the 60s, called UFO. And Moonbase Alpha was supposed to be this idea where they've set up they expanded the moon base to take on the aliens that were trying to take over Earth or attack Earth or whatever. By season two, we're introduced to Catherine Shell, who plays Maya. And that, ironically, again, my mother thought she was the coolest character. She would kind of like gloss over, said, "Oh, he's watching that show." But then when she saw Maya, she said, "Oh, this is really cool." Maya plays a metamorph. She could transform into any animal or creature, but unfortunately for her, she could only retain that form for like 1 hour. It was a really, really good episode. In one episode, it was funny where she was lodged in a cabin of an eagle. She had to get out, so she just thought of transforming herself into a child. So you see this little girl with the hair and the makeup get up. It was just so adorable. But again, this is a very, 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 very good series. If you should find it, like I said, make sure you have all 15 discs plus the bonus disc. Let's see. Um, okay. Sorry, it's a little bulky. This thing it doesn't have anything to cover this, so I got to keep it from spilling out as I hold it. Okay, on September 13th, 1999. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, y'all could look at this. All 48 episodes from Breakaway to the Dorcons. I don't remember the Dorcons, believe it or not, so I'm gonna have to watch this again. Let's see. I'm going to be doing a lot of let's sees as I look on this. Um, like I said, done in '75. Um, but I seem to remember it coming out, at least airing in New York, after '75. I guess that was because of the craze of Star Wars. And at one point, I remember Star Trek would show at 6, and then Space 1999 at 7. Then you get Chilla Theater. Well, that's another ballgame altogether. Trust me, that hand coming out of the swamp scared me till I was at least 14. Uh, an underrated, highly, high quality television show. Um, like I said, it deals with a variety of subjects, including the concept of, I think, um, population control in one. Um, it also shows that there are characters in here. They are flawed. They're not Marty Sues or Mary Sues. They are flawed. And I really honestly. Oh, and there was something else about this show which I always like. This is the only show that I can remember that has the intro music for season one was a weird combination of orchestral and funk. Don't know how to explain it, but that's it. I mean, it just had that really good guitar, that. I just love that. Like I said, the ships on here seem more realistic, with the exception of the fact of they don't explain the internal gravity. At least I don't remember them doing that. And oh, and I remember when it was getting out there, because I think it aired in England in '75 and aired in the U.S. By '78. And because I remember Mattel had bought the rights to make the toys, and especially that eagle. If anybody has that and one piece, please let me know. Send a picture. I want to see this puppy, okay? It just brings back some mad memories. Uh, I have to say, there have been people who I didn't even know also that there were novels written, which kind of explain why certain characters don't show up in season two. Also, there's an episode that deals with the concept of like what you see in Ancient Aliens. The aliens drop humans off and take off and shit like that. And it's called The Testament of Arcadia. It's actually a good episode, and it kind of brings you to an almost a sort of religious sort of vibe to it. But by far the most interesting, and it's not even the most longest episode, is called Memories from Alpha, in which Zinnia Merton reprises her role as Sandra Bennis to give the message of what happened to them. She's pretty much the only one there telling the story, which I think is a nice touch as opposed to Barbara Bain and Martin Landau giving the story about what happened. They're just basically saying, "This is what happened. Here we are. Don't forget us." It almost brings a tear to your eye when you think about it, because she really brings that scene together. Um, until then, if you guys have a comment, maybe even a question, uh, please let me know in the comments below. Rate this video if you like. And until then, I'm Filter. I'll see you guys another time.